Speak it out, but daily desk. Mahonero wako panyayai. Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, speak it out. Daughter, yeah, speak it out. Why don't you speak it out? Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, yeah. Now all is green.
Hello guys, welcome back to Speak It Out on Daily Desk. This is your host, Ali Green, the host with the most. I'm back with another exciting episode, guys. You're not ready for this. I've been missing you for a long time now, and we are back with another exciting episode. But this episode, we have got beautiful people in the building. So, I've got this beautiful couple. They are here to explain their journey of miscarriages. So we're going to hear from them and learn and understand what they were going through, and they're going to help us with some advices and with explain to us their journey. Welcome, Baba na Mama. Tukutambire ku Speak It Out.
Thank you so much.
You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
So, like when I was like inviting you, I was like, oh, is this couple going to come? Because it's so difficult to invite our roommate, mostly. Varume kwainvhaita kuzvinhu vanombononokera kuti vanotanga vafunga kuti ndoenda here ndoite sei. So how did you convince him to come?
She's yet to convince me.
So which means you need to get convinced.
I'm here.
How did you come? How did she convince you? Because that is the most difficult thing for me to do. Like maybe I'm invited somewhere, I tell my husband, oh, let's go to this party or let's go to this function. He's gonna be like, what is it all about? Okay, what is the day? He has to strategize everything before he goes. So how did you manage to convince him? So I can take some notes,
It was not that difficult though, because I just told him, I think we've been talking about this thing for quite some time, that I think we just need to tell people our story.
Wow.
I know there are couples out there who are struggling to have kids, who are going through the same process that we went through, but I know someone arikukwanisa kuvaudza kuti zvinoitwa sei, zvinofambiswa sei, how do you support each other and the like. So we've been through this journey for quite some time. I think it took us about 8 years.
Indeed,
and 8 years to have our first child, and with about 5 miscarriages. So yeah, saka pandakangozvitaura, it was just like, where are we going? And then I just explained, I think we've been there before. So yeah, then it was that easier.
That's interesting because he was willing to come as well to share with you, and like it seems like he was into this journey with you.
Yes.
So I just want to you can introduce yourself to the people, those who doesn't know you. Baba Namai Mushandu. Okay. Guys, we've got Baba Namai Mushandu in the building. So Baba Namai Mushandu, Munozia, hearing your story, kuti 8 numbu, then 5 miscarriages. Pozoyava and 2 after all that. Zvinotaurika amawedza kutaurika in less than 2 minutes. But yanga iri nguva, anga iri mwedzi, anga ari makore aitofamba, everyday calendar aitopera itanga ichipera. Svika 8 years dzakwana. So how was your first miscarriage? How did it affect your life? How did it affect you? I know it's going to be kind of a sensitive topic today, and I hope we're going to get through to it.
Yeah. So with the first one, it was 12 weeks. I think I just started spotting. So when you're pregnant, it's confirmed you're pregnant, and then I started spotting, like just a few drops of blood on my pants. And then I went to the doctor. I was in SIM that time. So I went to the doctor. That was in 2006. So I went to the doctor, then the doctor said, no, but you're just spotting, but your uterus is what? It's closed. It's fine. So I got back home. So I went back home, and then I think it was 2-3 days down the line, that's when I started spotting. I'm having cramps now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my first pregnancy. I was staying in Gweru. Yeah, and I was staying in Gweru, and all my relatives were in Harare, most of them. So I was just alone there. So I just had some cramps, and then I went to the bathroom. When I went to the bathroom to pee, obviously, that's when I did pee, and then I felt something coming out. And then it did come out, and then I saw it. I took it from chamber. I took it. I wrapped it in a tissue, and then I got a closer by, and I said, I've been bleeding, and look, there's this thing that looks like a fleshy thing, you know. And then she just said, you can't be bringing these things, throw it in the toilet. I threw it in the toilet, and then I flushed it. That's when we managed to get hold of him. He was not around. And then he came, he said, no, we need to go to the hospital. That's when we went to the hospital, and then I explained the situation, and then they checked me, and said, no, you've miscarried. So it was like, it really came as a shock to me. I'm like, so that thing that I actually threw away, it was actually part of me. It was like actually the baby that was growing inside me. Wow. And then that's when we went through the process of cleaning the system, evacuation, what they call it. But what really touched me was the fact that I had a sister who also was experiencing the same thing, the miscarriages thing. And I think she had probably 2 or more. So it was like, oh, again. You get what I'm saying?
This
like
situation is coming to me.
Yes.
It's already in the family.
It's already in the family. And now it's coming to me. So, you know, that was the most difficult part of it, because now, you know, if you know there's someone in your family who's actually having the same problem, then the first thing that strikes your mind is, I'm the problem.
Wow. But how did your husband took it? For the first time, it's your first baby, you're expecting.
Well, I've got a science background in terms of study, so knowing that, you know, in biology these things can happen, that even animals might have some miscarriages and all that. The fetus might not grow to perfection, and those things can happen with humans as well. So having that background of having studied science made it much easier for me to accept it, that if it happens to someone else, it can as well happen to me. You know, growing up, we have known of people vasina vana, you know, kumaruzeva kwedu, and zvaingozikana baba havana vana, but they would stay as a couple. And having had that history, it helps you to understand that you are not exempted from the same principles that affect, or laws that affect person A and person B. You are not exempted. You can be exposed to the same kind of situation in your life. And by the way, we are not entitled to have kids. You know, when people get married, vanhu vanofunga kuti kana tikarara zviri easy, then because tarara tinofana kuita vana. Unofana kuziva kuti so kuita vana ndeimwe stage. Unogona kunge system yako biologically isinga allow, and haisi mhosva yako, because hausiwo wakazvicreate, wakacreatwa naMwari, and you need to understand that kuti haisi problem yako kuti hauna mwana kana kuti unaye. And by the way, inogona kunge isiri problem yababa, inogona kunge iri problem yamai. Saka often vana mai vari on the receiving end pakuti vanotakura the fetus, and then varume vanobva vati haisusu tiri right because she was pregnant. It could be that your what you call them, your urume wako might not be mature enough, effective, could alternate with the the female system pokiretwa mwana ari fit. Otherwise inogona kunge iri problem yako, even yango uchiproduce. Saka having known that, I could as well think that it could be me a problem,
Wow.
That's how I take it, and this is what I would say to everyone else exposed to the same kind of situation that I've had.
Maturity. It takes maturity to have that mindset. Like I may be the problem as well, because she was thinking she was the problem, and you on your side, you're also checking yourself, because like on situations like this, where we come from, in our Black community, where we come from, like as Africans, mostly when there's a problem of having a child, it's a lady. It's a lady's problem. She's the one they call names, she's the one they call barren and stuff, and there's a lot of names which can be given to that lady because of like she's not conceiving. So you saying you thought it was you as well, and I'm like, wow, that's maturity to me. It takes a mature man or a mature person to have that mindset. And during that time, I know people will start talking, and families can say something, say a lot of things, like they can question you. And how did they like? Did you face any negativity from the families, both ways, your husband's side or your side?
Well, well, from my side, I think the good part about the whole situation was, I think after having my first miscarriage, remember I was far, I was in Gweru. So the first miscarriage I was
You
alone.
didn't announce it.
Yes. And then the second one as well, I was in Gweru. So it was like, well, you don't have a lot of people knowing about it. And then also even from the family side, we're also alone in Gweru. So yeah, you have questions, like, especially like for me, I was open enough to say, okay, fine, I have a sister. Okay, I mean, we share the same father but different mothers. So she is my sister anyway. Yeah. So was having the same problem. So obviously from the husband's side, now that they know that there is a sister who's also having the same problem, they'll be like, well, you need to find ways to, since it's in the family, you get what I'm saying? But well, after that, we then came to South Africa. That's one good thing about it. Then we're far away from everyone. So, I mean, communication was very low. So I can't really point out a lot of negative stuff. But I think most of the negative stuff was actually coming from me, because then I would always ask myself, what are the people going to say? You know what I'm saying? They were far. Like my in-laws are in Zaka, and I mean, my phone, you get what I'm saying?
Network problems sometimes. Yes. You have to time phone. I know, like back home, like me, sometimes I time don't tell like a normal call. But WhatsApp you can do yours when you call you later. But you have to time. Can I call?
And then also there are 9 boys. And then there's mama, and I don't want to lie to you, I've been blessed because of the boys. They mind their own business. You get what I'm saying? Like I remember when I would miscarry, my brother-in-laws would actually call me.
Wow. To
just say, I mean, I remember there's another pregnancy, I think I'm going to talk about it later on, when my brother-in-law was like, my guru, that's Bantiri. I thought we were just done, now we are just staying to love each other. You must just stop this baby thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm saying, like, I had a strong support system even from my in-laws as well.
Wow.
Lamb.
I think that's what you need during that time. That's all you need. Like people were standing by your side, were supporting you, were like motivating you, and to make you feel that you're not alone. And you, how did you take it that time? Like now people were asking questions, or at work, or your friends. Did it affect you, or you were like, it's fine, I will handle this in a different way?
Well, like she puts it, I wouldn't have any challenges from my brothers. Like she indicated, I come from a family where it's 9 boys, same mother, same father, and what an army. But if you would have critics,
I can just imagine.
And if you would have people who are not believer, and all that, who would try to fight for me, they could. But I'm blessed that I come from a family where brothers are level-headed, and there was no pressure of any sort. But besides that, my approach is you mind your business, I mind my business. Is in as far as raising my family is concerned, in as far as my marriage is concerned, we manage ourselves. So however we relate is what is important. We don't take advice inobva kuma third parties first. Tinotanga zvimanager tega tisati taallow anyone, to a point that I think at some point she did mention there was some voice that came into her ear kuti, after she fell pregnant at some point, that someone, a far relative, wanted to hint her that she could perhaps go to some traditional healers and all that to seek advice. I shot it down right away. Yeah, so yeah, maybe I preempted, but you can still go ahead. But I had to shoot it down straight away because I was prepared. If it's God's decision that we shouldn't have kids, I was prepared to go that route, not to force it in any way, to go out of my faith and end up scratching around just for the sake of having kids. And ipapo ndanga ndiri base paprinciple yangu yokuti vana vanouya as a blessing. Hauchoose kuita vana, Mwari anogona kungoti usaita vanhu. That's why kune vanhu vasina vana even now. Saka pamatali arimo munyika hazvirevi kuti iwo uri exempted. Unogona kunge uchitova panumber 1 epalisi pakuronga kwaMwari kuti iwewe hauiti mana for some reasons known to God. And by the way, kuchona kwatinako nhasika kwatonyanya nevana, patatisina vana tatisingachoni. Saka zvine mabenefits futi mukagara musina, and you need to be positive with that. We were okay. we didn't have as much money, and but we were fine. Am I right?
Yeah.
We were fine. Saka
So it's more like you're spending enough time together.
Be positive.
Then you make it interesting.
Yeah, make it interesting. And further to that, we'll talk about it. I remember attending some church programs, couples, vanhu vaizosumuka vaiti, paya pakuintroduce vanhu voti isusu Mr. and Mrs. so and so, tine vana vedu vaviri, maboys edu 2, and it's okay.
But was it not affecting you to be honest? Was it not like
it wouldn't affect us? So isusu taizosumuka because isatina and zvokuti imi munavo haisi problem yedu. And panotaurwa nezvevana, vanhu vachibrega nezvevana vavo vanoita zviri right, we would not take it personal kuti because isatina, because kune vanhu vanoti kana because vari musituation yekuti vana they get offended nevanhu ava vari kungotaura nezvevana vavo, and iwewo dai wanga vari musame shoes you would have done the same sezvavanoita. Saka vanhu havasi kuitira iwewe. Saka and that isusu ndo approach yedu. Saka taingozosumuka kuti isusu tiri baba namai Mushandu, tichiri kushaya zvedu, tiri kutsvaka, hatisati anawo and titori boo and zvitori right zvakadaro. Talk about it kuti isati navana, and taane ne 7 years in marriage hatina. I mean, and unofanira kuziva futi kuti vanhu, society inofarira kutaura nezvemastatus evanhu. Saka unofanira kungogara waziva kuti petinenge tisiri tofunga tinotaurwa nezvedu, not kuti in bad sense. It's human nature kuti dzimwe nguva vanhu vanongotaura, not necessarily to offend or to be spiteful. Saka get ready, get to know that.
wow.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got Baba Neme Mushandu in the building. Guys, we're talking about their journey of miscarriages. 8 years in marriage, 8 miscarriages, and 2 kids came out of it.
Rather 6 miscarriages
6
and 2 kids.
Okay, 6 miscarriages and 2 kids. Okay, guys, don't forget this video was sponsored by Chido. You can just see the dress, guys. Chido is on the building. Chido is here for your dresses, for any occasion, anything. Chese chaungadi maroro, guys. This is in your maroro kamda kurorwa. So ngona anzi munhu wako arorwa very soon uzona munhu wako arorwa sagara watenga dress kuna Chido. So Munazia, that was my thing which I was asking, kuti, was it not affecting you? Because sometimes I know, no, shika ungoti panjimbo. Mwana wangu musikana zvazoita nhasi azotora vaseline akazvizora miri wese and you auna mwana. I think like you can feel like ada kundishamisirira here or ada kundisvotesa here. And kuvarume zvinoona zvisingafiti, but mama, how did you feel on that? Like when you face people like bragging about their kids, like mwana wangu musikanzi waari kuita mazano, apa uri kuziva kuti auna?
To be honest, zvakambondiaffecta maso ekutanga, but with the time, with the guidance and support, counseling, Mushandu anotauraka, ndakazopesa ndaita make peace. I remember pane madays wototi even painzi pakanzi my baby welcome, baby shower, I wouldn't attend. Because like I would be like, I mean, didn't you go feel out of place? You get what I'm saying? But with time, ndakazopesa nda make a peace with it. You know what, Ka? I've done the first pregnancy, Sharamba, the second, the third, the fourth, Sharamba, and you know, panting and down, like we're worshipping Salt River, and yeah, it's predominantly Zimbabweans and Malawians. It was just a good support system, because pandairwara pandindanzi I'm hospitalized, they will be there for me. And vachiuya, you know, and then also but these guys are pandentry down, they are there for me. So why can't I be happy with them when they are happy? Wow. So I think that actually changed my mindset. But you know what? Actually, what can I problem? Everything must be on hold because in internet ambutsiko. Ayo.
But you know, like those are wise words, because during when you're facing something, I don't want to lie, there are times maybe you lose hope. Was there a time where your faith was tested during that time? Because like you are Christians and you are not having kids and you are going to church every day, you are praying, and like, were you not like, God, what am I doing wrong? Did I do anything to offend you? Have you ever get to a point where you have to question your faith? Both of you. Okay. We can take it first.
So for me, andingati ndakasvika, or maybe pamwe, like what I said, kuti ndangandine a strong support system. Kuti pane my days I didn't believe pane zvavaitaura. Like what he's saying, kuti he always told me kuti paida maybe tisu tichazota kakadhara ndikachemberekeka kasina mwana. So for me, because ndegara ndichingoudzwa kunzi hakuna murume anogara nemukadzi asina mwana hazviti, and izvezvizvika I remember pane umwe munhu akazondiudza, actually it's recently, kuti mumwe musi you'll be shocked uchiona mumwe musi ka 16-year-old kachiuya kuti izvoni, I mean vanhu vachiverenga kamakore have been married for 18 years now, kuti like ka 16-year-old kachiuya kakuuya kakunyuka manje kuti yes, kuti hakuna murume yeah, kuti hakuna murume anogara asina chinhu, asina mwana. And you get what I'm saying. But with the time, there's one day and this guy always tells me kuti anondida through thick and thin, and I'm stressing. Really, ndaigarandiri a sad person. Like, you know, unongo pfungwa dzako dzinenge ameno dziri panzvimbo 1, unongo chungofunga ukabata kamari kako ukadoti tikabatanidze tishande tese pamwe chete, and the first thing that comes into your mind is, what if this guy dumps me? Wow. You get what I'm saying? We have invested together, he dumps me, then what? So unongo chigara uine stress. Like I remember that situation yavataura pandakanzi, what happened is I went kumusha, and then I only realized ndakusemu kuti ndine nhombo yefirst born yangu. So ndasvika kweka because ndakafamba ndakabva ndaspota ndakabva ndatanga kubleeda, so I had to tell vandandina kuti guys ka apana umira mushi. So ndopa vakabva vasodza ka hama yedu yakazondiapproacha yakunditi tinogona kuenda newe pamuprofita uyo unonamatirwa. You don't really need to tell Morgan about it. We can just do it, and then unonamatirwa po wakatombo kako ukasunga kana mwedzi yako yakukwana ukasunungura. I don't want to lie to you, I was a little bit confused because
You were scared.
okay, like what I'm saying, I was confused. I was not sure whether I must take the advice or I mustn't. But the only thing that I remember saying was, Tauraina again.
Wow. But pakapasika heart here, kankatoti willing kuti I need to save this child.
I think I was 50-50. I'm not sure there. But then the thing was, because I'm someone asinga keep my secrets.
Wow.
Like you could see.
The way you invested in your relationship.
Yes. So then I was asking myself, so if I'm to do this chitombo thing, how am I going to survive for the next, 8 months, 7 months? Nekatombo kangu, musema house, I want to bujura kid. So yeah, I had to say like, talk to Morgan. So I think, yeah, tempted a little bit, but did not succumb.
And to you, Sari, did your face get tested during that time? Like, or are you forgetting me or what?
Not really. My mind was, like I indicated, based on the principle that you may not have kids. So I had accepted that we could be that, couple that never had kids their lifetime. And upenyune marriage was centered on kids. We centered pamurimi, and no principle yangu. So yeah, but of course, maybe what everyone might need to know is that we actually, as we were in Cape Town, we have had visits at so many doctors. We have seen so many gynes, and we have known, the base of gynes in the city. And umwe no umwe ayenguya ninyaya yake. Yeah, I know we have done a number of tests, and dzimwe nguva umwe aizoti pane inonzi S factor, pane chinonzi chakati, takaona zvakawanda mukushanda kwana chiremba. Zvokuti takatozopedzisira isu toita kuti tatova magaini, because pataitestwa taizoudzwa nhoroondo, it looks like the S protein whatever, yakamira so S ndakaibata
because that your HS but you could S
vaizotiratidza maresult, saka S fact inoita kunge doko ameno vachirondedzera zvaimaka sense to a point that dzimwe nguva zvazotoita sekuti problem inogona kunge iriyo murume, saka hazvina basa kuti mukuitwa kwazvo inogona kunge iri problem yako semurume, ende izvozvo vanhu vanofanira kuzviziva.
And zvaindicate at that time kuti problem inogona iri yako. How did it make you feel?
Ndo wakazvisika. What do you do? Ukazviona ndiwe, then what? Kana usina zvono woti saka ndini ndozviuraya, unoita sei? But kuone kana kurebesa your hair kana richisvika apa ndizvo unoita sei? So I think that is what people need to understand, kuti haisi problem yako, because even kuita vana kwacho hausiwo unovaitisa. Ndimwari akazvidhara in your biology and physiology. What is your contribution to it? So what is not your contribution to it? Kana ukanzi, your biologically zvaanalyze kunzi hauiti vana, so where do you fit in mukuzvicorrect? In nature ka. It's God's call. So you need to condition your mind and get to know your limits semunhu. Woita zvaunoita zvokuenda kundoona vana chiremba nokuita zvizogumira ikoko. What else can you do?
And then
I don't know.
I also wanted to say
hatinga look, isusu endo hatibelieve kuti kune rimwe simba rinodarika randinogona kutsvaga ndoga, kuti ini ndikakonekta naMwari tikanamata kana zvikaramba zvarambira patiri, because tinobelieve kuti unogona kunamata kuna Mwari direct kana zvaramba zvorambira pauri, kana pane mediator ndiKristu pakati. Zvokuzoti pane vamwe vazouya vakakupawo dzimwe mhepo kana vari ini ndinodhila naMwari naJesu Kristu direct. Kana answer dzangu dzaramba ipapa handina zvekumwe kwandinotsvaka.
So I also wanted to say, pa issue yoyo also, there's another yesare. So
I just hear the name of that thing in the but I'm not like educated to understand what
I
is.
also don't understand that thing. But I remember a lot of people mentioning that sari thing. Up to a point whereby I even went to a gynae in Zim. I had to ask because, like, really, I was also now confused because I remember being told with someone anga miscarriage kuti ndakanzi ndine sari ndikaenda ndikanochekwa. You get what I'm saying? So I went to a doctor in Gweru. Then I asked him about it after I had my second miscarriage. I'm like, I just heard about this sari thing. Please, can you explain to me? He told me, mwanangu, usachekwe nyama zako. And it. So apparently, from the people that I know, yavanoti sari are those piles. I'm not homo, and there's that term.
Piles.
Those piles.
Because like I hate kuti vanhu to Arab more often. They like they have a medication for that.
Yes.
But because Zimbabwe anezitari kuti sari. So I had to research about kuti sari chimborichi because I just heard sari. Then ndikazodzwa nemwe doctor zvikanzi arinzi manonzi mapiles musana.
And people give birth right now mapiles iwayo without any complication. Really? Saka you find kuti it's just ingori myth. I don't know kana zviriko, but it's just something that I just wanted to bring across kuti you find kuti vanhu vangozonibvunza kuti hauna sari here sari racho chimbori chii
But like pari papo pekuti already you mentioned that your sister had a similar situation. Did it ever come to your mind like maybe we are cursed or maybe someone did something to us?
Well, obviously for me it came tinokwangofunga kuti pamwe ndizvidzinza. You get what I'm saying? Saka I mean zvinopinda mupfungwa, hence ndosaka ndichitaura kuti zvonika sometimes you end up getting confused. You don't know. You know what you believe. And you get what I'm saying? Like inini I grew up kumba kwedu hatinambobvira tiita zvemaprofita, hatinambobvira tiita zveng'anga. We are Adventists. We don't believe mune izvozvo. Handitika. That's us. And then you get married also. Those are the values dzine murume wako. Handitika. And then wozoti kwababa kwandisina kumbokurira. Handitika. Handina kukurirako ndakachengetwa namai. But hama dzekwababa unozodziziva unongochidziziva. Ndokune that problem. And sometimes you start asking yourself, was it because pamwe ndakangoti pandaifanwa kuroorwa ndakangoroorerwa kwamai vangu because you get what I'm saying? Because ndakanoroorerwa kwababa. Exactly. Yes, you start thinking of all those things. But anyway, ndodangoti ndaJehovha nekuti I just got a murume anobheliever mushoko raMwari, said that you find with those things zvakambopinda mumind mangu ka, but zvakazoitwa clear off because now ndandazwa kuti munhu wangu akangondudza kuti mwana chipo chinobva kuna Mwari anondida. And I was also looking forward kuti wakachembereka sina mwana. I don't know how it was gonna work, but
I'm just picturing kachembereka sina mwana hani kana soita sei. So now I'm an stress.
Positive stress. Ndinoda masweets, chocolate chi. Like zvandataura kuchona wonochona patisina kuti aisachona. But yeah, it's life experiences.
Yeah. Let's jump into our first baby. How was the journey? You guys holding the first baby.
Okay. So The first two, they took place when I was in Zim. And then we came this side. 2008, I fell pregnant. I also miscarried. So I was actually using, those days we're staying in Plumstead. So I miscarried that one. I think it was also 12 weeks. And then that's when he said to me, I also even struggled to get Basa, because back home I was a qualified teacher. So when I came this side, that's when he said, you know what, stay at home and study and do something else. So it actually kept me busy, because mabhuku I stress. So then 2020 I fell pregnant. Sorry, 2010 I fell pregnant, but it was after doing some tests. After doing some tests, and we actually had to get a medical aid, because with government facilities, like I remember, once there's nothing we can do to stop a miscarriage. So we said, okay, let's try to go private. We went private. So I fell pregnant, and that's when I was given some hormone tablets. So you can see maybe your hormone levels are low. I got my hormone tablets. I managed to push up to 18 weeks. Then 18 weeks.
It was your first time pushing up to 18 weeks.
Yes,
Mostly it was 12 weeks.
Yes. So I pushed it to 18 weeks. And I remember with that one, we had to go to, so with this medical aid that I was in, tachinzi one hospitalization in private hospital per year. So ndakatanga kurwadziwa iri weekend, so I had to quickly go to take a bag, because endaenda uko ndikahospitalizwa kusiri kusununguka, then it means they found kusunungukira government. Went to take a bag, they checked everything, the baby is moving, you can actually feel the baby is now moving. But when they checked, the uterus is opened. They said, let's take the baby out. I was like, no, the baby is alive. I can't. They said, but apana kwa unuenda. I said, no. We came back home. We didn't have a car at that time. So vanga tora motaya sawera wabo kundendesa ku take a bag. He went kuno dropa chi mota. Indakangoti, I want to pee. Got into the bathroom. Then I felt a lump coming out. Because it was like, my mind was like, it's a baby. I pushed it back. That was the greatest mistake that I did. But those toilet mates that saka chakato bata pasi mvanda chidzosera infection. Avanda kutovafonera kuti panomira musha ndobva vadzoka mvanda zvitwa rush to N1 hospital. Vakauya kuzondiona ngonditi andandafa ipapo, because infection yakazondiaffecta, because in as much as kamwana vakazomanage kubreaka, because mvura yakabuda isina kubreaka, ndo chinhu chachachi, that lump yakabuda isina kubreaka. So that was the first one, and then I was in hospital. Then you come back home empty-handed. You know how it feels, like you're coming back home to this man, and the man is saying, it's okay, Paida. And now you're not sure whether it's really okay. Kana kuti hana option akungotaurawo.
And now those words maybe kune mwana somewhere or kune mwana kuichiswa mwana, like maybe he's okay because you have got backup.
Yes. So that was 2010, then that was 2012. Then 2013, and the other thing that I also wanted to say is I would do my own family planning, because he would never ask me to fall pregnant. I would just think, I just want to try. Then I would just...
Your own family planning instructor, you just like tell yourself, this time, this season, let's try it out.
Yes, then I would just fall pregnant, and then I would just tell him I'm pregnant. 2013, I fell pregnant. 2013, I fell pregnant. Now, we're with a different doctor now, with a different gynae. So this gynae, Dr. October, after telling him all the experiences and everything, he said to me, you know what? I'm going to put a stitch.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm also going to keep you on what? On hormone tablets. And then we pushed. I was on stitch, I was on hormone tablets, and then we pushed up to 22 weeks. At 22 weeks, I was just bathing. I was in the shower, and he was there by the bed. We're talking and talking and talking, and then I just felt water coming out of me. And I was like, I peed on myself. Like, I was so sure. Then he said to me, I hope you didn't break your bladder. I can't afford to have a wife who moves around in diapers for the rest of their life. Then we laughed over it. Then I finished bathing. The water is still coming. It's not stopping. It's just a little bit trickling. Then he said, let me go to the doctor. Let's go to the hospital. I went to the hospital, confirmed the water's break. Shatopera. So bed rest for a week. Let's see if we can
Push more.
If we can push for a week. Ashke 400 grams was Ashke 500 was Ipabo Pawaka, where the baby was 475 grams. Bed rest, we didn't even last for a day. The umbilical cord is out. So if the umbilical cord is out, we can't take it back. So let's go induce, take the baby out. So you know that the pain, you're inducing the baby's alive, and they'll tell you the baby's alive right now.
Yeah, because remember at that stage when you have uterus opening, doesn't necessarily mean that the baby is unhealthy. So you can see the baby playing inside, alive, and not knowing the fate at hand, that the house in which the baby is in is under attack. So already, and so that's the contrast. Mana anengari healthy, but space yokugara aisat each, and you can actually see a live active baby, collapsing in a short while. It's a bit emotional, but it's what it is, and you have to soldier on. And those are life realities, by the way. These are experiences that we meet in life, and so yeah, and that's it. The baby is gone, and you have to soldier on. But remember, marriage as manari important ndisu saka you wongo uchida ku invita space yedu watadza ku manager is tasara tiri right. So
Our space is still set.
yes, I'm saying this because sometimes to know it's the health of our women or our spouses at risk at the expense of kids. So first prize in the is my wife safe, because it's out of failure, and you manage her and move on. Otherwise unoda kutorwa mind nemunhu angaida kuvhista afoira kuita make it. It's also a duty for, like they say, survival of the fittest. Let me put it that way. I mean, if mwana auya, of course tinoda mwana, but challenge ndeyekuti kana wanga uchistenda upenyu hwenyika kastenda, so the child is failed. So and haisi problem yangu iyoyo, haisi problem yake, because my forces around the child and God have a duty as well to stand and fit into our system one new baby. So arisi duty redu, isusu duty redu tight, that and that keeps you on.
Like hearing you speaking now, it makes me understand like it's not our priority, or atina kupikirwa kunzi the moment yatinosangana nevanhu tikufanira tobuda nevana ipapo, because unoziva uchipinda marriage or a relationship, you just like think you've got a right to kids. So hearing you speaking about your own journey, going through this, there was money yakashandiswa, because all those procedures, they are very expensive. Some of them, they are very, very expensive, and you're paying money, your time, your mental health was tempered on during that time. Like sometimes you lose it, but it makes other people who are sitting at home listening to you right now like, atina right yekuva nevana. It's not our right, it's God's blessing. and it comes on its own time. So now went to the first baby on our journey. Now Taluza this one, and then
from there, I went back home empty-handed, stressed, depressed. I don't
I
like
think this one was more deeper because it was a big cut. Because mwananga chimbotamba, didangwa chiterera dzonga mukumbuti ari kutambira apa.
Plus look, mavhiki angafamba isu tatotonazoti 4 weeks 22 weeks pane pachovha, but it's hardly how many weeks are they? 5
22 weeks
divided by 4. That's about 4 weeks, 4 months rather, sorry. So kana uri musituation yakadaro yokuti a week becomes very important. Ndopandakaziva kuti a day will make a difference in life yomunhu, because when the doctor then said tiri pa 22 weeks, 24 weeks, 2 more weeks, 14 days would have made a difference in the size of the child. Mwana anokura per day, per 2 days, zvakadaro zvokuti munhu akangova naye mudumbu for such a short period zvino make a difference, but we could not buy the 2 weeks. The time of God had come. He had determined the destiny, and we couldn't push beyond. But a week, a day makes a very big difference in your life. It might decide whether you should have a child or not.
So, okay. So that was that. And then, okay, like what I indicated, I was depressed, I was stressed. I remember at some point when I came back home, I just felt how useless I was. I'm not even woman enough to just, you know.
She wanted to pick bags and go.
Really?
For my sake, you know, I feel like I should just leave this home so you can get another woman to get kids. So she wanted to leave for my sake.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never asked her to leave. She wanted like, I can't stay here.
You
know.
picked everything. And you were ready to close the doors and just walk.
I was ready. Because like I was...
You were not even thinking of yourself, like how you're going to feel afterwards.
I didn't ask her to leave. She wanted to leave for myself. She was like, I think I'm the problem here, so let me leave.
But it was obvious. It was obvious because like what I've indicated, I know I have a sister who's having the same problem. I'm having the same problem. So, okay, you may try to explain to me the biological side of it, but for me, I'm like, but I'm the problem.
It was another thing. When you went to the doctor, he was telling that maybe he might be also the problem. But
when you're in a problem,
there are also prophets of doom.
So I stayed, and then he convinced me to stay, so I stayed. And then I decided to fall pregnant again. That was 2014. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
So 2014.
But by the way, I would also ask her to wait a bit, because I could see, so that she could rejuvenate, the system rejuvenates. Because remember, what's important as well is health. You can't run all year through another year and you trying kids. You also need to recuperate as a person. And she was not under any pressure. Of course, you know, the love of kids, she had to be pregnant. And so as we went in for a while, then I would wait for some surprise to just say, I'm pregnant. I'm like, again, you know. But because, you know what, I would handle her better without any pregnancy than, you know, going through the same motion of going a week in of anticipation, and then you don't then hold that you have been anticipating for. So when she didn't have kids, she's not pregnant, then I was fine. I know she's healthy, and we don't have anything to...
The topics are normal.
Yes.
Like, how are
now
you?
When she's pregnant, then we have to count those weeks. First week, second week, 22. Then it comes. And so I didn't want to go through those motions. I was fine without us not having kids, rather than going through the same motion and, you know, have some heartbreak again. Okay.
Yeah, so I decided to fall pregnant, then I fell pregnant. Then we went the same procedure, hormone tablets, the suture, the stitch. And then, yeah,
So
we went.
is the stitch to close your pelvis so that it doesn't open?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, if I can help you. So this time around when we visit Dr. Otto, is a very good guy at N1 City Hospital Netcare for those who might have challenges that, well, not that he sent me to advertise him, but with the experience that we have had with guys in the city, like I indicated, we have known the best in the city of Cape Town. We have,
now you end up
you know,
being
yeah.
kind
So of all these guys, I feel like October really gets to your personal business and he understands your situation, and his target is to make sure that you have kids. And so he doesn't necessarily just paint everything with one brush. I know Torah case by case or attend a and I remember in our first encounter I got to duty round to make sure and to a point that instead of having a stitch passy, you know, stitches are not administered from under, you dig in, you tie, you actually tie the uterus. Okay, you tie it so that stitch can be loose as the uterus baby grows. It can actually fall out. Yeah, so in Viadona. To a point that he had offered us another option. He knew of a certain guy, a professor at Stellenbosch, and who could dig in from the top. So anga atipa option yokuti this time around munoda here kuita kutora option yokuti actually anokata osunga through the womb, and that stitch will never fail. But then challenge ye stitching yokuti ukaita infection or then becomes a challenge. But takava tango choose the very option, and I think akaita yakudara yokusunga from under. And then we went through, I think she can take us through that course. But I just wanted to qualify that there are options in terms of where the stitch can be positioned depending on the, experience of the guy.
Yeah, so after the stitch, and then, we started counting. And then, but he told us at 24 weeks, beyond 24 weeks, then we know the baby is safe.
In terms of weight.
In terms of weight, okay. Yeah. So we went 22 weeks, we've passed, 24 weeks. Actually, but then he told me, you know what, now go buy some clothes. So we went to bought a few clothes, obviously Dolly's clothes.
How was it? How was it your first shopping?
We didn't go.
First time?
I just bought one, I think. We didn't buy I just bought one. One thing, yeah. Then I kept it. Then 24 weeks, and then 28, 24, 25, 26, 27 weeks, we actually were moving into our house in Goodwood.
Your first house, rather.
So we...
By coincidence, for some reason, I mean, we'll talk about it.
So I asked a friend to come help me clean as we move in. She came to help me. I spent the whole day having pains. And she said to me, you know what? Yeah, how many weeks? Then I said 27. She was like, no, you know what? The baby is changing position. So I spent the whole day in labor with her. And then he came. Then I went to the bathroom. Then I wiped, I saw something. Then I did show him. I was like, when? You must go to the doctor. We must go to the hospital now. And then we had to rush to the hospital. That's when
it was on a Sunday.
Was it a Sunday?
What?
I'm not
sure. Or not? Okay.
So then we went to the hospital. That's when they said, your infection was remember I had a stitch. So sometimes with the stitch you can get infection because they've introduced a foreign object in you. So I had infection, and now they had to take out the baby at 28 weeks. But you know what, we can't induce you because if you push the baby may die. So we need to do a C-section. So they had to do a C-section. He was there to take the baby.
It was on a Sunday.
Yeah, it was now on a Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
Then they had to take the baby was out, and then I was on bed, and then he did whatever needed to be done. I remember after that he came, he was there by the bedside as I woke up. He said, "Do you want to see the baby?" I said, "Yes." We went. Guys, I almost collapsed.
Seeing the baby.
No, it's not the baby that I thought. Because in my mind, I had a baby. You know what I'm saying? And then when I went there, I see that thing was small. It was very small. Like if someone is lying here and I'm holding the baby here, if my palm was long enough, you wouldn't tell that there's a person in there. That's how, like, yeah, literally, like, the baby is here, and my palm is long, like, my hand is long like this, and someone is sleeping here, you can't tell that there's someone in there.
Are you for real?
That's how small that baby was.
How many kgs?
It was
1.1, which is 1 kg,
That's
precisely. So just like the size of your bottle 2 liter there, it's our. She was tiny, but very active. You could see
you can see her like
that there is health in the body. But you look at the physical stature, you're like, yeah, this baby is indeed small. But the specialists in the doctors and everyone actually give you hope that indeed you'll get to hold a big baby in the very child, and even the skin thereof wouldn't have been developed as much. But you know what, Manano Kura and she's grown up, she's active.
So
be happy.
So she was there for 6 weeks in the hospital. So we'd visit here every day, going with milk, and that's also I would pump, and I would
do the job. If the pump is not working, I'll make sure that the milk is available in the bottle.
How are you doing the job? If I may ask.
I had to make things happen. I fill the milk in the bottle and put the milk in the refrigerator, take out in the car, rush to the hospital. Every day I was like a dairy man, remember those days when we had dairy boat, those guys driving around with me. I was the guy delivering milk by the hospital. And she would have as much milk to a point that we had so much liters of milk in the house that we ended up donating to at other hospitals because our child could not take as much.
Because it was too small.
We have donated. We have given out our own milk and
You did good. You gave life to someone.
And here we are. That was our first child. And then I told myself, you know what? I'm done. I'm done.
I'm satisfied now.
I'm done. He was happy, I was happy.
And how was it seeing you growing every day? And when you're not shaking, which was speed, when like, is she still alive? Is she still okay?
We had all those monitors. What do you call them? Angel
so at that level, so the breathing of the heartbeat and all that. And scary, we were told that at this age you need a bit of what is it, caffeine and all that to activate.
Otherwise
she would forget breathing. So you had to have gadgets reminding her to breathe and all that. And by the way, overnight you wake up and check if the baby is okay, because then you think she has forgotten to breathe. And of course she was so tiny that if she had any vomit and all that reflux in bed, she could choke herself up. That she was small to a point that as she's lying there, you couldn't leave her on her own. If she gets refluxes, she would have challenges to breathe. And I remember I had one experience where she could almost be suffocated with her own stuff. So yeah, but it's a life experience.
And she's a
comes,
special
it goes.
baby.
She's a rainbow baby.
Well, she is. Well, is per her appearance now, you can't tell whether she was small or very active, and I wish you could come to one of the days when she's doing gymnastic competitions, that you see how she stretches and fly in the air, you know.
Wow.
And
She does
Yeah.
gymnastics.
yeah.
She's so active.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our journey, and then the second one, it was not as complicated though as the first one. I also,
But it was still a stitch.
yeah, it was still a stitch. It was still hormone tablets, and also stitch hormone tablets, and it was also a self-planned pregnancy as well. I just decided to fall pregnant, and then yeah. So all I'm trying to say is the wife sometimes who decides when he or she when she wants kids.
When she's ready to have
Yeah,
a baby.
when she's ready to have babies. So yeah, and then she came at 36 weeks, 35 weeks and some days. But I was thinking and hoping that I would reach 40, but then they said when I went to one of the checkups, I was swollen. My hands were swollen, my feet were swollen. At some point I would walk with clashes because of the leg. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would walk.
But this one was
You handled it better. It was better.
Yeah, at least the baby was
Big.
grown up. Yeah, so it was not that small one. We only spent, I think, a week in hospital, and then that was it.
And how big was she?
She was
She was good. 2.5, 2.4 there. No,
Yeah.
she was. We didn't have a problem with
Yeah,
this.
no,
She was fine. You were able to hold
Yeah,
her.
this
Yes.
one for us, 8 months is not a miscarriage to
fine.
us. We were fine.
And it was like it was a victory
Nah.
to you.
Yes. And she's 4. She was born during COVID.
She's a COVID baby.
Not during
Yeah,
COVID,
yes.
when COVID started, yeah.
So COVID
COVID baby.
was announced on the 5th of March, first case in South Africa. Then the following day, she's born.
Wow.
So I had to be in isolation since she was born, because I would go out and in and, yeah,
Wow. Wow, what a journey.
indeed it was.
But I'm proud of you guys. Like, coming out, it's not easy to just like share a journey like that. It's very emotional. It's sensitive. We had to talk about sensitive parts, and I was just scared like you're going to break down, and like I just like, oh, they're soldiers, because he came from a soldier family where there's 9 boys. You can't play with 9 boys. So he's also a soldier. So I can say you were like imparted.
No,
He told you.
I've cried before, I think.
You can't cry anymore.
No, I can't cry
You
anymore.
get over the crying.
Yeah. At some point, like I remember we visited some couples, like when a couple has miscarried, we would actually go and visit them and also tell them, you know what, we have been through this. And
you get over it.
yeah, I mean, with time you get over it. I mean, it's not a guarantee that how I handled my situation, the next person would do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, just we are just there to comfort each other and encourage each other and give them hope. And also, it's not automatic that because we went through this experience, we have kids. The next person is also going through the same experience we have. You get what I'm saying? So it's a
And you know what, if you go through the same kind of experience, when you don't pick yourself up, march on, life is full of, experience, bad and good. So I think best is that you need to soldier on. You need to be positive, no makanjana. And by the way, no one in the world owes you anything. No one owes you kids. No one, not even your parents, or it's you have been created like that, and you need to accept it and live with it. And I don't know garamgona because my life my neighbor my shamari, they have their own life. My life and I want to push into a circumstance. You didn't choose not to have kids. You need to be brave and soldier on. I think that's
and
what I
also
can say.
and also I think as Africans, semazimbo, and I think this generation, I think takufanwa kusiya that mentality kutoka sangane vanhu you ask, when are you going to have kids? Why aren't you having kids? You know, all those questions.
Yeah,
Because
I think we
the
need to
people,
stop.
yeah, because people are going through a lot. Okay, isu takazosvika papoint yekuti we were just saying it out, but there are some people who
Mega.
cannot. I remember the other time, I think we were just talking with other ladies, and then someone just said to me, at least you can you get what I'm saying? It's not kuti I'm buying a car because and namwana.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how best to put it, but uyanenge akazvitaura maybe ari kuzvitaura hake genuinely honestly asina kufunga
ende
zvakawanda.
zvinogona kunge zviri izvo.
But
Do you have any pressure like because pane maschool fees
Sadabadra, pane hembe, pane baby food, so you can
but
still.
also at the same time, imimi pamuri kuita mafees enyu and the like, endo pandiri kubhadhara medical aid. Kuti ndite mwana wamuri kuwana mahara waunoti ukaenda kumob hospital wotonyeba kuti handishandi wotosununguka free. Inini I have to pay to have this child every step of the of the way. So guys,
it's like
Expensive because private office hospitals, they don't take things lightly.
yes, and also kuti the journey becomes easier when you have a strong support system. Like if you have a husband anomira newe, you get what I'm saying? Kuti ndikakudza kuti pakutanga ndega ndenge zvitozvirova ndega kuti inini dambudziko rangu panapa, it's my problem, ndicharambuka, ndichadii. But you would always hear my words of assurance kuti you know what, I'll stick by you, I'll stand by you, I will never leave you. Saka you find kuti if you get murume anokusupport or anomira newe, you find that the journey becomes easier.
but bamushandu
Kusvika panguva yekufunga kuti rege ndimbotsvage kana mumwe mukadzi wekuitisa nhumbu awane mwana here oro ndicheke kuti chichikuitika. Mamusati masvika.
Zvokuti ndaizosvika here handingazivi, but patakasvika pose apa handina
that
kumbosvika.
was an honest answer. Nasandasvika ipapo
Noti kuti ndandichasvika. I mean, vanhu kana vachiti waizosvika pamwe ndaizosvika, you know, but handina kumbenge. It has not been my wish.
you're still hoping.
Look, I was meant to be in there, but apa ndangotaura kuti tiakomodhete vamwe vanhu vanofunga kuti panosvikwa. Indaisazosvika.
And like, I'm so happy like you are here and you are sharing this journey with other people who are watching us right now. Guys, we had Mabana Mushandu in the house today. It was interesting. It was motivating. And kunevana vatudzidza kuti mwana unaye just like chinhu chaungofanira kungopiwa just like you deserve. It's a blessing. And to those who doesn't have now, they keep motivated. It's gonna happen now because now there's 2 babies now at the house. So maybe there's more coming our way. You never know. Family partner wedu asati dzoti arikuita futi pamwerini.
Ndakatora makii pekupedzisira apa ndakapinda vakarara ndikati ndinodaona kuti ndozvandataura zviya kuti takapedzisira taamagaini zvokuti kana tikaona mukauya nawaya tinokuudzai kuti uyu mwana uyu haagari uyu musikana uyu mukomana tinointerpreta titumirei pamawhatsapp tinokuudzai kuti
Guys, please tumire baba namai Mushandu. They are our junior gynes. Vachiri kungotanga, but they can help. Kuti mwana uyu anogara here, haagari, ada stichire padenga rari stichire pazasi here, mukomana nemusikana makuziva futi izvozvo. Kuti nzeve dzakakwana zvese.
Within a few weeks, because we have been there 8 times. Uyu unenge musikana uyu because pamakumbo pake pari flat.
Okay, that was very nice. So please guys, kunevasheda magaini emahara. Aya havasi kucharge anything. Mona magaini anodhura, but these ones are free of charge. Thank you so much. So, Munazi, I'm so happy kuti you came through this journey and you are happy now. There's a happy ending on this. We can call it a happy ending. Because you're both happy as two people in your house. It was my friends, Jedimandi Griji, that chocolate. Ndayembedzi nyowani. Christmas yakusvika kaima ufana utozoti muise mari patable kuAdidas kuchi muchinotenga. So it is really a blessing. So my words of encouragement to those who are listening to you, who are facing the similar situation or who are into the similar situation, actually ndoko magaini koko basiri kunzwisisa maesa already.
I think to just sum it all from my side, I think point yokubata sizwa Torah, we are not entitled to have kids. And it's nguva panongofunga kuti chivanhu get medical assistance, especially I think pama miscarriage, like in our situation it has been diagnosed that the challenge was a weak uterus. And go through the protocols, and akuna kungomhanya kungondodirwa mvura ne usina kumbounderstanda zviri basic kuti uterus yako iri kurelease iri kuva weak so early, and we are not entitled to have kids in any way. Blessing yaMwari, and the challenge inogona kunge iri yamai kana kuti yababa, hazvisarudzi. Even paya panoita miti pane mamwe michero inenge isina kusvika anonzi masvosva atoriwo muvanhu kuti munogona kunge muchiita meti fruit yamuri kubudisa isiri fit to grow to perfection. Saka izvozvo zvinoanalyze zvinoonekwa ende saka hatisangoasuma kuti challenge ndeyamai. Saka body ikaona kuti chinhu ichi hachisi right to grow, inobva yaita automatic miscarriage. Izvo takazvinzwa kwataifambira kuya kumagaini kuti yes, tinogona kunge tichiita fruit isiri fit to grow to perfection. Saka body inobva yaita yega yorelease the factor. Saka I mean ngatisapotane kana tingaita machallenge. I think that's all I can say.
Handida hangu kudzokorora zvakawanda, asi kuti ndachida kungoti ishu iripo ndeyekuti semadzimai tinenge takaremerwa panyaya idzodzi, nekuti ukangoona wangoita miscarriage yekutanga kana utatadza kubata mimba, chinotanga kupinda musoro mako ndechekuti marriage zvatodhakwa hapana. Saka we also need that assurance even from our husbands. Kuti tinokuda wakadaro. Anti wakandinyenga ndisina mwana, ko zvoda kutika handina mwana zviko. Wakandida kandisina mwana, chingondichengeta hangu kandisina mwana. Chachinja chi.
Marriage makudiwa mwana.
Aiwa. Kana uyewo hake, asi kana aramba hazvifanira kuzotapudza rudo. Ingoti daiwo. Nekusazvara ikoko tinongoda kudiwa.
And don't take it personal. Hapana munhu unogadzira mwana iye. You understand? Because you are not that iwe ita mwana mukomana iwe, iwe ita musikana.
Apa handisona mukomana
iwe.
Handina mukomana kandi ngori nevasikana.
I mean,
Mukomana vari ku9
variko. Saka zvinoitwa ne zvinoitwa nekomandi kuti mama hamuna mwana mukomana, hamuna musikana. Kuti nokuti mataura emibaba.
Kumagaini vabatsirire kuti mwana aite musikana naite mukomana kwamanga makuverenga. Ichoripo futi lesson iyoyo.
Ipo.
Mufana kudzoka ende kudai iyoyo mwana mukomana inomutombonetsa saka ndauti kuti mutese mutipo lesson iyoyo. From Memosi. Because but it is this other thing which I'm just seeing is circulating these days, whereby my couples vadakana vasati varorana havazivesi vari kuzviita. They go kuma gynecologists kunocheka kuti vaone kuti vanokwanisa kugadzira mwana here. Vachisa ma blood cells avo nechi. So I don't know kuti did you ever come to that education pameno magayini kuti zvinogona kuendana neropa or netype yema systems edu.
Yeah, from atingaende kuma details no something, but pane ka sentiment pavo kuti pane, I mean vane vaingotaura zviro zvinotaura kuti mahormones ako nechichi
Nemukadzi already.
kuti muma-DNA yako pavanoita analysis ningi ma-cells ako iwe kana ma-sperm, whether sperm cells or the cells from the woman anenge ane problem iwo maari saka nyaya iripo ndeyongokuudza ungoti haugoni kuita mwana finish because ma-cells ako haasi fit kuita mate and produce a fetus. Saka I think zvongosiyana ndezvematiwo kuti watestwa chii but you can see
they can see kana vatosvika ikoko vanokwanisa kukuidentifyira zvinhu
kuti unogona kuita challenge vanozviona.
wow.
But I mean zvasiyana nokuti vanogona kuonawo dondo sezvatambotaura zvekuti isu takaudzwa zvakawanda mukufamba umu nana chiremba takaona vakasiyana. Umwe unoona kuti uyu munhu uri so negative zvokuti hatishandi nayo. You understand? Hapana unotokudza kuti imi nepro zvandaona izvo hamiiti but woenda kunawo kutobondoita. Hatingazitaura hedu mazita evamwe vatisinganyanye kurespecta pamahospital atakafamba vakatodzidza kuti unoti uyo iwoyo anga asingaoni. Saka science inogona kuinterpretwa in era saka it's not like you have the alpha and omega.
So guys, thank you so much for watching this exciting episode on Speak It Out. We had an amazing session. Please kindly subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe. You can subscribe by Pt.1. And a big special thanks to my producers, Nash Empire Studio, and Kuda. Thank you so much for making this possible. Video, sound video. Sound video. Please, when you comment section, Nash Empire decision. And thanks to my sponsor Chido. Thank you for the dress, and guys, please and my dress maroro swaduku vanhu ndo vanozotorwa sagadzira wagadzira gara wakagadzira dress kana munhu ada kutorwa unongopfeka woenda. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Speak it out, but daily desk. Mahonero wako panyayai. Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, speak it out. Taura, yeah, speak it out. Why don't you speak it out? Why don't you speak it out? Speak it out, yeah. Now all is green.